Oh, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give, everybody opportunity to get into the room. We're at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So we're going to let people to get into the room and start at 5 minutes. But isn't this just like, whew, this picture of Rudy Giuliani, y'all. So if you hear some noise in the background, it is my fan. And this week we don't have Chris Farrow, but I will explain that. If you guys watched last week, you know why. So again, I want to welcome everybody into the room. Hi, she's here. She's here. Okay, there we go. Chris is not with us this week because, as you guys know, if you watched last week's episode, she is traveling. So yeah, it's just me and you guys this week. It's just us. It's real intimate. It's just you and me. You know what I'm saying? There's only two people, you, whoever you are, and me. And I want to thank those of you who joined me last night for my live talking about Love After Lockup. If you guys did not watch my live last night talking about Love After Lockup, where were you? Huh? I know they sent you a message about it, and if they didn't, you need to tickle the little bell so you get notifications when I go live. That's what you got to do, honey. That's what you got to do, because you never know. I'm like a sneak attack. You never know when I'm going to put up a video. Okay, so thank you again for those of you who joined. I still got people who act like they didn't know who I was, and they came at me in the comment section, which is why partly I don't read comments, because y'all be crazy. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to Say What with Wah and Chris. I'm Wah, and Chris is not here. But we're going to do a solo dolo this week. Solo dolo gilo. Solo golo do do do. Okay? And we've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. I've got my wine as a company for this endeavor. And if you guys watched my show yesterday, you understand why wine is important to me these days. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Summer of Dragonfly. Don't worry if you missed last night. You can go back and you can watch it again. So the thing that I want to talk about today, or several items that I want to talk about today, is this fool, Rudy Giuliani. Okay. Rudy Giuliani was the Republican mayor of New York City that single-handedly turned, obviously with other people, right? But he turned Times Square around. The reason why Times Square is what it is today is because Rudy Giuliani was mayor of New York City. I'm going to tell you when he was mayor of New York City. Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York City. What were his years? He was mayor of New York City from 94 to 2001. Okay. So, definitely the height of Trump, being popular in the popular media for sure. But Rudy Giuliani really did turn New York City from this cutthroat, snatching your chain, getting mugged on the subway city into a tourist destination. And more specifically, he changed Times Square. And I lived in New York City from 2008 to 2014. And New York City only benefited from Giuliani's time as mayor. I was there when Bloomberg was mayor, okay? And so I had a certain amount of respect for Giuliani because what he did to the city of New York City. He made it safe for me to move there and live my happy ass life. Safe. I mean, a lot of crazy things came out of that, frisk and whatever. But he did turn the city around, and so I want to acknowledge that. This man got disbarred. Okay, he was suspended. His what's his name? His license was suspended, and then he was eventually debarred. As far as I remember, maybe he's still suspended. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But I really do feel like this man put his whole career and life on the line for Donald Trump, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Did he owe him some kind of favor? Was it blackmail? But this man that's shameful. That is really shameful when a lawyer is suspended or disbarred. He's also being sued by a company called Dominion, who they did voting kiosks. And because from like 2000 and something to 2000 and something, he went on Fox News, making defamatory statements about Dominion, talking about how they were complicit with the Democrats in changing the votes. And he just talked about voter fraud so much and cited this company, Dominion. They're getting him for defamation of character. They are coming after his A. Oh my God, Lynn J. Thank you so much. Happy 4th of July to everybody else too. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Cheers. Thank you, Lynn J. I appreciate that so much. Cheers. Clink, clink. That's Julesy. She does that. But cheers, So you guys, this man has just, his legacy has been tarnished. It's been ruined. You know what I'm saying? His legacy, that like black hair that was dripping down his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel really bad for him. Morris Life says that she thinks it was a kind of undercover weird quid pro quo. Morris Life, tell me more. Tell us more. Tell us more, Morris Life, so that we can see your perspective, because your perspective is appreciated, respected. You've been a fan of the Just Call Me Waht family for a long time. Yeah, so let me know and I'll put that comment up. But I just really think you guys that it's shameful. It's quite shameful. I was like embarrassed for him. I was like, oh. I mean, as much as Rudy Giuliani was on Trump's side, there was still a part of me that was like, he did good stuff. He did good stuff. So regardless of whatever, but maybe now all that stuff that he did, was he the president? I mean, was he the mayor during Central Park 9? Let's look at that. When did Central Park 9 happen? Central Park 5. 1998. So no, just, no, he wasn't. But like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm being ignorant, but as somebody who was like, New York City, Times Square is like really a testament. Like maybe there was a lot of shady dealings. I heard there was some like mob influence on that. And listen, Giuliani, I'm all about people squatting up, and it sounds like if there was mob business dealing with Giuliani, he's Italian American, so why wouldn't he get with the mob? You know what I'm saying? If the Black Panther Party was powerful now and there were people who got behind the Black Panther Party, not to compare the Black Panther Party with exactly the mob, not saying they do the same thing, just saying like, sometimes kind goes with kind, and I don't know. Oh, Victory says Rudy Giuliani was always racist. Okay, I'm dumb. Right, great, I'm dumb. All right, so Morris Life says maybe behind closed doors, Trump did something for him and he owed Trump something in return. It's a lot of freaky deaky stuff going on behind that's what I was saying. Like, I think maybe Trump had some kind of something over him. Like, was it blackmail for him to always be like that? But Victory says that Rudy Giuliani was always racist. And I guess if he started stop and frisk and all the things that cause, Black and brown people to go to jail because of racist policy, I can 100% see how that happened. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, New York City is good. And I'm not saying that those two things needed to correlate. There probably could have been another way that he could have handled the matter in order to not have Black and brown people incarcerated because of his rules. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's what happened. High space-time continuum. Just talking about Rudy Giuliani and how the fact that he got disbarred, and it's really just shameful. Oh my God, Victory says Rudy Giuliani was always a bad mayor. What did I get? I don't know. The people I met in New York City really praised Rudy Giuliani. So as much as they felt like there was a lot going on, they still supported him. At least when I wasn't living there when I was there, but I heard about the Giuliani years, you know what I'm saying? And people spoke of them fondly. But maybe those people were Republican and I just wasn't aware of it. Maybe those are the same people who spoke of the Ronnie years fondly. I had a coworker who actually referred to Ronald Reagan as Ronnie. And I said, Pasquale, you don't know that man. How you gonna call him Ronnie? She's like, when Ronnie was president. And I said, girl, what? When Ronnie was president? Huh. Anyways, Mora's Live said Donald Rumsfeld dropped dead. That is what she said. I'm just saying what she said. Giuliani is corrupt. He is corrupt, but it is really shameful. It's shameful. What I'm saying is that it's shameful. That's all I'm saying. It's shameful. Okay? It's shameful. You guys don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, okay? Don't forget to give this video. There are 48 of us that were having this intimate conversation right now. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, I don't know if there's only 48 of us because it's earlier than I normally go or because Chris is not here and you guys really come here for her. I don't know. But I want to thank you guys who are here. I want to thank my moderators, Tiana, who is Asteroidia Black, as well as Lynn J. I want to say hello to Baba Baby Binky Blanket for always supporting, as well as Spacetime Continuum for always supporting. Victory Begins in the Garden, always supporting. So thank you guys so much more. And Lynn J, thank you so much. You and Kalia, thank you so much for the super chat. I 100% believe and support it and love you for it. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is this elephant, y'all. So in Thailand, this elephant was hungry for some snacks. This is Chris's contribution to this week. She's not here, but she sent me this and she wanted you guys to hear this story. This elephant, y'all, broke into this lady's house looking for some snacks, okay? In Thailand. So this elephant was in the zoo, and I guess the zoo gates are real weak, girl, because this is the second time that he's broken into this lady's house, but this is the first time that he's broken through her walls. And I'm like, what was those walls made of, though? Like, is it super hot in the part of Thailand that she's in to where the walls are just super thin in order to get some, like, flow of air? Yo, this elephant is all the way through her kitchen, eating snacks. She was woken up in the wee hours because this elephant was in her kitchen. And this is not the first time this elephant found her kitchen. Now, I don't know if the elephant went through her wall as he did this time, but I mean, could you imagine that the pests in your house are elephants? Like, there's no ants. You know what I'm saying? There's no roaches. There's elephants. Would you rather elephants than roaches? That's the question I have for you guys. Okay? Because, you know, Australia has an issue with kangaroos sometimes. Like, they have to, like, curb the kangaroo population because there's so many and they become a menace. And I'm like, what kind of population of that do we have in California, specifically Southern California, of, like, natural wildlife that is intruding in our lives? And I'm trying to think, like, what do we have? What do we have as natural wildlife? I mean, we do have mountain lions. We do have bears that end up in, like, random suburban areas. But elephants that be just busting through your home, busting through your window, not even through your window, through your wall. Space-Time Continuum says an elephant pest would be epic. I mean, it would. Just the sheer size of the animal would just be epic. So interesting. Moore's Life says elephants are amazing. I'll allow it. But girl, let's talk about the elephant sticking its head through your wall. What do you get? Do you get elephant insurance? Do you get wildlife insurance? Do you get wildlife crossover habitat insurance? Like, what do you get? Because you got to pay for that drywall. Who's going to do that drywall? That's what I want to know. So Angelica says there's a mice infestation in Australia right now. That sounds annoying. What did Purple Apple say? Purple Apple said something. Elephants. I'll take elephants over roaches any day. Okay. Yes, I would. Honestly, I would. I'm deathly scared of roaches, specifically water bugs. I don't. It's like my dad keeps telling me that they're bigger than me, and I just need to stomp over them and step on them, and I'm just like, I can't. But the thing is, though, I get it because my sister is deathly afraid of spiders, and me, I'm just like, there's a spider, girl. You just tripping for no reason. Let me just get this piece of paper and just like turn on the spider, and okay, the spider's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. I get it. I 100% get it. It's just that was just such a cute little story of Thailand of how the elephants are a pest. And I hope that she has insurance or that the zoo will pay for the fact that this elephant keeps busting into her house looking for snacks. I'm just like, feed the elephants though. Feed them so that they don't be busting into my house. Greedy elephants. Are these greedy, cute little elephants? Siobhan, thank you so much for catching my live. I'm a little early today. So I mean, congratulations on catching the live. Hello. Chris is not here. It's just me and my vino. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Angelica. I heard that Moore's Life says, Angelica, I heard about that some of those mice look like they were on steroids on the YT vid I saw, and I was itching. Okay, I can't talk about it. I don't want to itch. Woo, girl, I don't want to itch. Woo, I don't want to itch. Okay. So the next topic that we are going to talk about, which is quite interesting, and I'm happy for her, is girl. Cardi B is pregnant with her second baby by her husband Offset. She made the announcement on stage like she did with Culture. And look at this bodysuit, this Dolce & Gabbana bodysuit. She ended up coming out on the BET Awards and doing a song. I guess she's featured on Migos single. And listen, I watched the whole performance, the Migos by themselves and the Migos with her, and I was into it. I was really into it. I was into this bodysuit. I was into her ability to keep moving and to squat down. I was into her getting up on her own. I was into it. I'm a Cardi fan. Okay. So as much as people are not Cardi fans, I'm a Cardi fan. Pink Owl says everybody knew. I haven't been on Instagram in a long time. I haven't checked in on Cardi to see what she's doing. When she doesn't post on Instagram, I'm always like, what is Cardi doing? Like, what's she doing? Because she's one of those celebrities, one of those personalities that I actively wonder about because I feel like she and I are friends. I know we're not friends, but like in my mind, I'm like, I feel like we're friends, you know? So I haven't been on Instagram though in about 3 weeks. So I'm on Instagram right now. I keep saying so. I apologize. I'm on Instagram again. I'm just not posting as much and I'm not checking it. More importantly, I'm not checking Instagram. I'm not scrolling through Instagram. If you guys would like to follow me on something where I'm talking about, it's at Wicked Waht on Snapchat. WICKEDWA. There's no H. WICKEDWA. Because I really loved the musical Wicked when I developed my Snapchat. Okay, so if you want to follow me on there, follow me on there. So you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's like, oh, she's had a second baby by Offset and he's just gonna cheat on her and do whatever. But here's the truth: she's a grown-ass woman. If she want to have her baby by somebody she's married with and then move on when she gets tired of his shit, I support her. She's a millionaire. She can do whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying? As long as people have someone to take care of their kids and their kids are fed and clothed, I honestly don't care how many kids they have. As long as they're not mean to them and they find proper support and love for them. I got 2 Snapchat notifications. You guys are quick. Yo, y'all are quick. Okay, Siobhan and Danny, y'all are quick. Okay, let me give a special shout out to them. Let me give a special shout out. So you guys can go on ahead and follow me on Snapchat if you want to. But let me give a special shout out to everybody. So here's a special shout out to those of you who just followed me on Snapchat because you heard me on my live on YouTube talk about how I have a Snapchat and you can follow me on Snapchat. You guys, Thank you so much for your support. Okay, anyways, there we go. So, hi, South Texas, the domestic gordita. Girl, I haven't seen you in a minute. The domestic gordita. ¿Cómo estás? Hola, chola. ¿Cómo estás? How you doing, girl? How you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. Oh my God. So, anyways, that's what's happening with Cardi B, you guys. I'm very happy for her. I am happy for her. You know, I don't care what gender baby she has. I just hope it's a healthy baby. I love Cardi B. There's something about her spirit and her just like, she's just a girl from around the way who like made it through tenacity and hard work. And I 100% respect her grind. No matter what anybody says of her, I support Cardi B. Okay. Domestic gordita, you're having a tummy tuck in a week? Sis. Yes, bitch. Yes, sis. Yes, I support you. I hope that you are snatched to the gods and that you love your body and that everything is good. You know, I support you. I hope that you feel confident in your skin. That's all I want for anybody, you know, to feel confident and amazing in their own skin. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to talk about is the next verses, y'all. It's gonna be Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. I know that these are controversial individuals, but here's the deal. Bobby Brown needs the money, y'all. He needs the money, okay? So the last verses that there was the Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. And so my sister was really feeling Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. I personally, that's not my generation. So my sister was over there like, hey, yeah, Bow Wow, you know, and then there was like times where Little Bow Wow wasn't Little Bow Wow, but it was Bow Wow's music. And I'm like, the last time I paid attention to that person, that Shad Moss, was when he was Little Bow Wow. I don't know any Bow Wow. I don't know any Bow Wow that's happening. Wait a minute. Shahana says, I think the versus is still happening right now. Why would they have a versus on a Thursday? I thought they normally have verses on Sunday. Okay, let me just run to Instagram real quick because I gotta check this out. Am I missing it? This is right up my alley. Am I missing it? No, let me see when it says. It's tonight. Oh my God. Queets and DJ Cassidy on the 1s and 2 at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh my God. That means it is happening now. But how come I don't see it on Versus? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. How come it isn't on Versus? Is it just only on Triller? Oh, it's not on Versus. Oh my God. Lynn J says it's right now. Rashana says it's over. That's weird. It was on a Thursday? More is life. You have a great night. You have a great night. Thank you so much for supporting us. Lynn J says Soulja Boy was great. I don't know Bow Wow songs like that. Lynn J says it's on replay and random channels. It just ended, says Stacey Thomas. Jeez Louises. I have a question. Why would they put it on a Thursday? Can they give us a Saturday or a Sunday? Jesus. What was that all about? I can't believe I missed it. I'm going to have to re-find it. I'm going to have to find it and listen to it because that's right up my actual alley. That's my generation. You know what I'm saying? Like Keith Sweat, Bobby Brown are my generation. I know she don't look like a 90s baby. I know she don't look like an old millennial, but she's a 1982 girl. You know what I'm saying? She's a 39 this year. She's a 40 years old in a 2022. She's an old millennial. So anyways, I can't believe I missed that, but there's that. Oh, Stacey Thomas says that it was for Essence Fest. That's on my bucket list to go to Essence Fest, for real. It's on my bucket list. Baba Binky Blanket says 1984 over here. Ow, ow, sis. We only 2 years apart, sis. Ow. I just happened to see people tweeting about it. Bobby and Keith were singing, and Bobby was sweating profusely. Listen, I 100% believe you that Bobby was sweating profusely. I just hope that Bobby is sober right now and he's doing his very best because, you know, definitely, thank you so much, Tiana, definitely was struggling with alcohol abuse and a lot of like, you know, trauma throughout his entire life with drug abuse. So I really do support him. Okay, Summer of Dragonfly, we the same year, we the same year. 1981, ow. 1984, ow. Okay. 1982, ow. No, Lynn J, we're not Generation X. We're old millennials. Lynn J, I need you to take it out. You're not Generation X, girl. You're not Generation X. You're a millennial. Here's the deal. We're the generation that understands what it's like to have the internet, but then not have had the internet. We didn't grow up in high school. The same thing with like 2001. And even I think 2002, they don't know, even though they're generation, what is the generation after us? Is that Generation X? I'm not sure. But, oh no, that's still millennials. Anybody who graduated high school, I think millennials are like 1982 to 1990. Let me see what millennials are. What age? Are millennials? It already popped up. Okay, millennials are 1981 to 1997. So that means in 2021, millennials will be in the 24 to 40 range. Woo! I honestly don't consider anyone who's younger than 28 to be a millennial. To me, if you're younger than 28, you're a Gen X. But I could be wrong. Okay, so then Generation X. So millennials are 1981 to 1997. Generation X is 1965 to 1980. Generation Y is 1981 to 1994. What? Generation Y or millennials are born 1981 to 1994. They are currently between the age of 25 and 40. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, great. So I guess we're Gen Y / millennial. How come it says here that it ends in 1994 and other times it says it ends in 1996? I don't know. I mean, 1997. Who knows? Who knows what's right, you guys? Who knows? No, I'm looking at the internet and it says Gen Y. So Gen X is 65 to 80. Gen Y / millennials are 81 to 94. To me, that sounds right. I think it should end at 94. I think 95 to something else is a different generation, right? Because I think it really just depends on you understanding that there was no internet and then there was an internet. There was no social media and then there was social media. There was no, like, that is the most important thing. Like, no internet. Like, to me, if you went to high school and there was internet, or like, I mean, because I went to high school and there was internet, but there was social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you went to high school and there was MySpace, you are not my generation. Because in high school, there was none of that. There was the internet. And I remember Kirk Roeder on MTV talking about the internet, okay? Kurt Roeder was my MTV VJ or announcer or whatever. Like, if you remember dial-up, then it's the same. You know what I'm saying? If you had a cell phone in high school, you and I are not the same generation, because I had a cell phone in college. I mean, my freshman year of college for sure, and that was the year 2000. But I'm like, if you know what I'm saying? If you had social media in high school, we are not of the same generation. What did I call him? Kurt Loder? Yeah, like if you did LOA chat rooms or Yahoo chat rooms and you were like setting up your first email, like not really knowing what it was, if you were clicking on links and going on spam websites, then like you are my generation. But if that didn't happen to you, like I have a coworker that I work with, and I shouldn't do this to her, but it's so fun. She's 22 years old. And like, I'm like, oh yeah, you had internet in high school? And she's like, wow, you're so old. She's like, shut up, Waht. I'm like, girl, we had pen to paper. You know what I'm saying? We're still looking at Encyclopedia Britannica, and we were only allowed to have one or two sources from the internet when we did papers, because it was like, no, you can't use the internet as a source. It's not a viable source for information. You need to go and look in the Encyclopedia Britannica, go to the library, you fool. And now folks are so used to Googling information. I'm not used to Googling things. Like, even still, I still ask people, I'm like, hey, do you know what such and such is? And they're like, why don't you just Google it? And I'm like, oh yeah. Because in my formative years, I was not allowed to Google. A child Netscape. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Earthlink. Let's talk about earthlink.net. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Let's talk about earthlink.net. Earthlink, LiveJournal. LiveJournal was my first social media, okay? It wasn't MySpace. It was LiveJournal, where you would just like write things like a journal of your life. Meanwhile, I would be talking shit, you know what I'm saying? Age, sex, location? Absolutely. Absolutely. Napster, I remember not understanding what Napster was. I'm saying, if you didn't realize that you was watching I Love Lucy, 227, what's that? Green Gables, not Green Gables. What's that show with the Zsa Zsa Gabor? That show. If you didn't realize that you was watching all of that on syndication, you're my generation. You know what I'm saying? We were watching reruns of Three's Company. We were watching 70s sitcom shows like they were everyday shows because that's what they had on TV. If you had 7 channels, channel 2, channel 4, channel 5 was your local channel, your local like county or state channel. You had channel 7. You had channel 9, which was a local channel as well. In California, it was KTLA 5, and then it was KCal 9 in California. If that's that, then you understand. You understand what I'm saying. Green Acres, girl. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Mickey, for that. So, hey, guys, that's who I am. That was a really long tangent. Let's move on. So, the next thing that we're going to talk about is at the BET Awards. Speaking of the BET Awards, we had Sweetie minding her own business, talking to the Shade Room, and this person named Jack Harlow, I like his suit, don't know who he is, walks up to her and is like, hey girl, hey sweetie, how are you? He didn't say girl, he was respectful. And she was like, hi. He's like, I'm Jack. And she's like, I know. And she's like, why are you shaking? He's like, I'm not shaking. And that was like him shooting his shot. I'm going to actually see if I can play the video for you on my, let's see what I can do. Let's see, can I do this? What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? Why won't it? Oh wait, share. Here we go. Share screen. Okay, and we're gonna go to this screen. And we're gonna go to Chrome tab, and we're gonna go to this one, and we're gonna share it. And can you guys see that?
Nobody's shaking.
Hey girl, what's up?
Hi.
I know.
You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah. Hey girl, what's up?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Jack.
I know.
Good to see you. Thanks for interrupting. You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah.
Nobody's shaking. Nobody's shaking.
Jack, step into the shade room. Okay, was that him shooting his shot or what? I don't know, but y'all better not be messy with this. You know we not messy. Nah, girl. I'm not messy. Hey, girl, what's up?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Jack.
I know.
Good to see you. Thanks for interrupting. You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah.
Nobody's shaking. Nobody's shaking.
Jack, step into the shade room. Okay, was that him shooting his shot or what? I don't know, but y'all better not be messy with this. You know we not messy. Nah, girl, I'm not messy. Nah, hey, girl, what's up?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Jack,
I know.
good to see you. Thanks for the interruption. How you know?
I can see you.
You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah. Oh,
Nobody's
shade room.
shaking. Nobody's
Oh,
shaking.
shade room. Jack, step into the shade room. Okay, was that him shooting his shot or what? I don't know, but y'all better not be messy with this. You know we not messy. Nah, girl, I'm not messy. Nah. Hey, girl, what's up?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Jack,
I know.
good to see you. Thanks for the interruption. How you know?
I can see you.
You don't like getting caught off guard?
Why you shaking?
Am I?
Yeah. Oh,
Nobody's
shade room.
shaking. Nobody's
Oh,
shaking.
shade room. Jack, step into the shade room. Okay, was that him shooting his shot or what? I don't know, but y'all better not be messy with this.
Okay, I had to play it a couple times because I needed to figure out like why it wasn't working, and then I figured it out. So I thought it was a really cute moment. It was cute, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who that person is. I guess he's a rapper. To me, like I'm like, okay, what is there? Post Malone, and then now this person, don't know who it is. Apparently, somebody said something about tap in, like maybe they just weren't in the same room together when they filmed it. Here's Baba Binky. It was weird interaction to me, given that he's on the remix of Tap In. I mean, maybe they didn't record in the same room, but still, she knows who you are. You're on her song, ha ha ha. So I think that's interesting. Definitely. I agree, Mari is kind of cute. I love how Saweetie was lifting up her sister who was interviewing her. I also love the fact that she was like, y'all better not be talking shit. And then the girl was like, we ain't done it, we ain't messy. And I was like, excuse me, the shade room, hello. Hello, Shade Room. I'm sorry. One of your correspondents on a red carpet of the BET 2021 awards says that y'all aren't messy, and I need you to retract that statement because that is false. Yeah, thank you so much. Right. No. Yeah, she had a head wrap on. She was looking fly. And she was interviewing Saweetie when Jack Harlow interrupted her. Yeah. No, yeah, that interaction. She actually stated that the Shade Room wasn't messy. I know. I know, it's incorrect, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to take that out because then yeah, you know that's not true. Y'all are called the Shade Room for a reason. So yeah, take it out. Okay, great. Okay. Right, okay, yeah. Perfect, let me know. All right, you have a good day. Bye. Poop. Like, you guys. The Shade Room stay messy. So for that girl to say that, I don't even know why she said it. Okay. Anyway, so it's him, Post Malone, trying to take the reins or trying to like slip into the spot that Eminem once held. And to me, they don't. Eminem is one of the best MCs of all time, of my generation, of all time though, but of my generation, but of time, all time. And I will stand by that. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is, this is a little controversial, y'all. Don't come for me. Bill Cosby got let out of prison recently. And a Pennsylvania court system decided that, it was time to release him because something didn't happen correctly from the jump. And so they said that he was supposed to take like sex offender classes and he never took them. And so he could have gotten out of prison earlier. And the drama behind it is that Felicia Rashad publicly on Twitter, announced her support of the fact that he was out of prison, and Black Twitter dragged her. And as somebody who has never been sexually assaulted, I feel like I have to give grace to those people out there who have been sexually assaulted, grace to people who have been abused mentally and physically, because that's not been my story. And this is a hard subject for me to tiptoe around. I'm somebody, and I've said this before, who is able to separate the person from the work that has moved us forward. And I know that there is a lot of commentary about Bill Cosby and the fact that he actually held us back due to respectability politics and his way of dealing with the trauma of being an African American. And African Americans are not a monolith. We all have different opinions and all of those things. And my opinion may not be the same as yours. And girl, if you want to stop following me because of my opinion, please do so. Just don't leave a comment down below saying that you were thinking of unfollowing me or you were going to stop watching, because I will block you. Like, people don't realize that I don't care. You can tell me your opinion and I won't respond, and I will just block you. So you'll never be able to see any of my content anymore, because obviously I don't need that negativity. You know what I'm saying? I've already got a lot going on in my brain that causes me a great deal of stress that I create within my body, and I don't need you, a stranger, making me feel poorly about this. But I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I personally have not liked, I've never liked R. Kelly from the very beginning. When he had that song that was like Booty Call, or like, there was a music video where he is on a Jeep in the middle of a boxing ring or something like that. Something about, you remind me of my Jeep. I think that's the name of the song. I want to ride. Something like my car. I want to bump you, baby. I was like, never liked him. So it's easier for me to be like, canceled, cut, sign, seal, deliver, mainly because this man was doing this to Black women up until, 5 years ago. And he's just a horrible predator. And that's clear. Bill Cosby is the same thing for certain people. And I have to respect their experience. But in this case, I am able to separate the man and the body of work. And the body of work did something to me. And I think that it's both true. You can be an asshole and you could be somebody who is a predator, and you can be somebody who has moved the needle forward. Those are two different things, but they can happen in the same person. And it definitely is a conundrum, and it's a hard thing to manage. And I'm not necessarily like, oh, yay that he's out of prison. But what I want to do is say that for people to go after Felicia Rashad, I get why people do it. But I'm just saying I'm not going to. Because that's her friend. She watched this man do a lot of amazing things. And if she has a visceral reaction for the fact that he's out of prison, then I respect her, and I would never attack her for her faux pas, for her feeling a certain type of way. That's just the way I feel. Now, Roshana says, I think his body of work is no longer a discussion, though. Supporting him in the present time is not supporting the art resale. I like that. That's a good point. Great. That is actually really good. Great point. Absolutely. Be Baba Binky Black. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. I'm more so just talking about the fact that, like, the representation of what he, to me, A Different World changed my life. So I can say that. But I don't necessarily know that I like fault. Oh my God, it's even messier than you can imagine. While Cosby used to live across the street from Jeffrey Epstein. I'll let you do the math. Oh, shoot. Wow. But how do you reconcile that? I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you, Space-Time Continuum specifically. How do we navigate these waters? I'm not saying that I think he should have gone to prison. I think he should have served time. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, I wouldn't have dragged Felicia Rashad for supporting him, because that's her friend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I support him. I'm not saying that I am whatever. I'm saying that I can separate the two. But also, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about the fact that, like, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, like, to me, anybody who's friends with Jeffrey Epstein and went to any of his parties, like, fuck you, because you knew some shit was happening. Maybe you didn't know some shit was happening, but those of you who did know some shit was happening and you did nothing about it, wrong. And I think if Bill Cosby was caught up in that, absolutely wrong. I'm more so talking about the fact that Felicia Rashad was dragged for her support of her friend. And I just, like, there's part of me that's like, couldn't drag her for it, you know? Lynn J says, I grew up with him and I feel like he blindsided everyone. He was supposed to be a leader and an example. Absolutely. Absolutely. And because I grew up in the generation, at least my perspective, and I can't speak for anyone else, I did my damnedest because of the generation I grew up in, because of the father I had, and because of my circumstances, where I was like, there are certain situations that women shouldn't be in. And so I did my best to stay out of those situations. I never went to any frat parties. I never did any of those things. And I'm not saying that I'm better because I didn't do those things. I'm saying that my dad was like, these are the situations that you should not put yourself in because men aren't to be trusted. And I am of the opinion that men should be held accountable for their behavior. F that, you know, like, F that. Women should be able to walk around naked and not be attacked by men, regardless of whatever society says is appropriate or whatever. But, like, I grew up that way. So sometimes right now I'm unraveling those thoughts. I'm unraveling that behavior, you know? So here we go. Rashana says, I don't believe Felicia Rashad should be attacked, but social media post wasn't really necessary or considerate of the victims. I honestly don't think she should have posted anything. She can support her friend and not go on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? She's in that generation that she don't need Twitter. She could go to his house, mind her own business. But the fact is that she wanted to say something out loud, and I think that I personally wouldn't have attacked her for it, but I also think that her PR should have stopped her from doing that. Pink Owl says, let the man go live the rest of his life somewhere. I don't care. The bigger wrong is that the women weren't listened to when it happened. I think that's a valid point. Selena says, I thought the same as you, Waht. I would assume that Felicia Rashad would support Cosby because she's known him for a long time. Mari says, men are lustful and want pleasure. Here's the deal. I can't do both. I can't assume that men are smart, thinking individuals and then excuse base animalistic behavior. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to respect you? Because here's the deal. The animalistic based human male is the same male that does not get grace when he doesn't want to have sex with a woman. It's the same man who gets called gay and all kinds of nonsense when he isn't the, like, virile, furtive, jutting, guttural person in the world. And I know a lot of men who walk around respecting women who get called PUSSY or get called gay because they aren't exhibiting, I don't know the words, you know what I'm saying? Exhibiting these, like, over toxic masculinity traits. And so I can't do both. Like, either I'm going to accept men for who they present themselves to be, or I'm going to think of them as guttering animals. And if I accept men for who they are supposed to be, think of them as higher thinking beings, then I'm going to hold them to account for behavior that happens when they're drunk or when they're not drunk. I'm going to hold them account for, like, such base, animalistic, ridiculous behavior that they don't have to do. You have a higher thinking. You don't have to disrespect women because they're dressed a certain manner. You don't get any respect from me from that. Let's bring up some comments that are says. Right. I hate when women are told to dress that way, etc. Mickey says his work doesn't diminish his crime. His crime doesn't diminish his work. Two separate entities. I agree with you, Mickey. Spacetime Continuum says, I love the work. Those shows are part of my DNA. I can separate the art from the man. There's a lot to say about Cosby, especially when he stayed regulating Black people on how they look and dress. I agree with you on that as well. Baba Baby Blinky says, I had a convo with my friend about how crappy I feel having to hide my large boobs. Yeah. It's like, because men can't be responsible in order to not treat you a certain way because you have your tetas out. I agree with you. Ooh, good point, Waht. I don't know what you're talking to, but thank you. Rashana says, I don't see that happening in 2021 at all. Spacetime Continuum says, meanwhile, he was doing what he was doing, not to mention that one of his original colorist facts. Ooh, Spacetime Continuum, you know how I feel about colorism, girl. True, says Mari. Maybe it's because I don't associate with people who do that, but men have always had more freedom to be themselves now. I agree. Sure do, facts. And victory, yes. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. As it's harder for me because I grew up in a certain time frame where respectability politics was how I was taught to maneuver through the world. And like I said, with the whole Monique and Bonnet situation, like part of me wants to side with her, but at the other time I'm trying to be more Gen X and saying, like, let Black women live. Like, let Black women do what they gotta do. And like, if you want to go to the store the same way somebody goes to the store with a messy bun, I'm allowed to go to the store in a bonnet. And honestly, sometimes I don't want my hair to touch the dirty air, and a bonnet protects me from that. You know, so does a wig, but a bonnet protects me from that. Will I ever be in the airport in house slippers? No, but I will be in a shoe that's probably fuzzy on the top and solid on the bottom. That is an outdoor shoe that looks like an inside shoe and it's comfortable. Will I ever be there in the airport with a blanket? Yes, because it's cold. It's cold. Now, is that blanket the blanket I put on my bed? No. No. Will I ever be in the airport in a bonnet? The answer is no, because I'm looking for a man. And I'm like, oh, he flies? I fly too. Cheers. So that's that. The domestic gordita says, I've grown up never trusting men because I was abused by a family member at such a young age. That happens a lot as well. And I'm sorry for your experience. And that definitely happens as well. Patricia Rodriguez says, I feel bad for victims that might have been triggered. I don't think she would have posted if it was only considerate to them. That was another thing too. It's like, I don't know, you know, the victims, she didn't have to say anything public. Like, you could support your friend all day and not go public with it. And what's the point of going public? Because you want to prove a point? Ma'am. But I wouldn't have come at her because I would have just been like, it's generational. The same way I have generational stuff too that was taught and ingrained in certain things in my spirit and my body, and I'm learning to overcome them, is the same way that I feel like Felicia Rashad is. Baba Binky Blanket says, right, I'm looking for a man, honey. Lindsay says, I don't give a F what I'm wearing, what fits, and you better hope I have on a bra. In the airport, girl. Listen, I be in the airport looking casual, comfy, but also full face. Not full face, but like, I'm just like, I'm ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying? We at the bar. I'm ready. Now I can drink. Girl, I'm gonna be at the bar in these. I'm gonna be at the bar. Okay, I'm gonna be at the Sky Lounge in the bar drinking some vino. Okay, that's my life now. Mari says, when I was younger, I would wear full face makeup while traveling. I can't do that. I feel like I would just break out on the plane. Monique, Spacetime Continue says, meanwhile, Monique has played the most stereotypical diabolical representation. Oh my God, yes, she has. I didn't even watch the Parkers. If we're being honest, I couldn't watch the Parkers because it was too much. I never watched one episode, maybe one. But I never really could watch the show because it wasn't for me. But anyways, though, that's what I feel about that. And I'm not supporting him. I'm not saying that the victims are wrong. I'm just saying that there's, for me, a separation as well as a grace given to Felicia because that's her friend. And she wants to support her friend, you know? So he's out of prison and he can't, hopefully he's unable to do anything to anyone in the future. And I wish the best for those of his victims. Victory says, I've never gone to the airport with time to mingle. You know, sometimes you have a layaway and you just get to talking to people and you never know. You never know. All right, you guys. So that's the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me with this episode of Say What with Waht and Chris. Next week, we should have Chris with us and it'll be a fun, good time. And I want to thank those of you who joined me. We have 82 people in the room. If you can go on ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't given this video a thumbs up. And if you are so inclined to leave a comment that is not conducive, is not a call in, but a call out, I will block you. And I won't feel any way about it. Okay? Sis? Okay. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you, Pink Owl. Thank you, Monica. Thank you to my moderators, Lynn J and Tiana, for being here. And thank you to those of you who come and watch this video afterwards. I appreciate your support on this sort of series. I would love to make this a podcast. I'm going to start saving the audio of this and create a podcast of it and like drop an album. Why did I say that? Drop a comment. What is the thing called? I don't know, girl. I've had too much wine. Too much wine. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Space-time continuum. Oh my God, thank you. Oh, somebody else gave me a Snapchat earlier on too. I think it was Space-time continuum. Oh, for some $2 Chuck. Hey. Thank you so much. Space-time continuum. I appreciate it. Let me sing. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. I said thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Yeah. I want to thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Space-Time Continuum. And thank you so much, Lynn J, for that super chat. You guys are awesome. I want you guys to have a fantastic holiday weekend. Please do not forget to follow me at Just Call Me Waht. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, you can follow me at Just Call Me Waht on Instagram if you want to. But where you should follow me is on Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat as Wicked Waht, WICKEDWA. And I'm also on TikTok as Just Call Me Waht. I'm going to try to stay away from Instagram as much as possible, but I will share from Instagram, share from TikTok or Snapchat to Instagram so you guys still see some stuff. But thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, it's Canada Day today. It is. I saw that at my job today. We talked about it's Canada Day. Oh, Canada. We've got maple leaves. We've got red. We've got poppy little things, like little poppy flowers that you wear on your lapels. What do we do for Canada Days, Quasi? Mickey, tell us what we do. Let me do Canada Day. Canada Day 2020. I'm going to read it to you guys. How Canada Day is being observed in 2020. Thursday, July 1st. Okay, what is it? Is Canada Day fireworks? Are there fireworks on Canada Day? Canada Day will once again be upended by COVID-19 pandemic. Boo, boo. What happens on Canada Day? Tell us what happens. What do you guys do? Fireworks! Yay! Are you guys, I hope everyone's able to have fireworks for Canada Day. Just added you on Snapchat. Oop, beanie. All right. Yeah, you guys, follow me there. Wicked Waht. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, you guys. I love my Canadian folk. I really did have a great time when I went to Toronto. So, I love it. I'm trying to get my job to send me to Canada to open a building, but they told me I couldn't because of COVID-19. So I was like, boo, boo. All right, you guys. I hope that you guys that are in Canada are having a fantastic Canada Day. I hope you guys are celebrating and living your lives and having the fireworks safely within your friends and family, and everybody is COVID-19 safe. Those of you who are in the U.S., happy. Will I see you guys on Saturday? Yeah, I'm going to talk about Love After Lockup on Saturday. So I'll see you guys on Saturday, okay? Poppies are Flanders fields and the graves. No, come visit us in Canada. One day, I'll come back to Toronto, but I'll also go to, what's that place called? Vancouver. I want to see both sides. All right, you guys. Lover you. Bye. Thanks, Mickey.